What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Real quick, I do want to say thank you very much for nearly 200 views on the last video. It was unexpected after my the death of all my views. But anyway, sorry about that. I got interrupted. What I was saying was sorry about that. My family's now yelling from across the house, so they're gonna let me cut ahead. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I'm starting to get a bit annoyed now because I keep getting interrupted, and I don't want you guys to be hearing family members screaming in the background. I don't know what they're doing. Anyway, so what I'm here to talk about, right? Well, I was thanking you guys for all the views because this spring. This spring, okay, my views completely went down the shitter after the friend group fell apart and the community completely collapsed. So, getting nearly 200 views in like the first couple days of that video being out that I made the other day, very thankful for that. And some people say, oh, but 2,000 views, not 1,000, 100, 200 views isn't good, man, blah, blah, blah. Dude, imagine you made something and you got 200 individual people to watch. Okay, now that I've cut ahead again, sorry about that, I'm getting interrupted again. Okay, so, what I was saying, imagine you got 200 individual people to watch or, look at something that you made. That's pretty fucking epic, especially when you're an unknown little jit. So, thank you guys. I could not be more grateful for the outreach my channel has been able to get. Actually just gave me a banger video idea. Hold on. Anyway, we'll talk about that another time. So yeah, I just want to thank you guys for that. But now we're here to talk about what we need to talk about today. So, first, right, I want to go over something. What is a psychological operation? Okay? A psychological, because we need to know what words mean, okay, before we can just throw out terms. Because some of you guys will say things without actually knowing what the fuck you're talking about. A psychological operation, or a Psyop, is a planned tactical and strategic activity to convey selected information to foreign audiences. The main goal of a psychological operation is to influence emotions, motives, reasonings, or behaviors of groups, organizations, or governments, right? Now, psyops in the modern day are mainly just used to sway public opinion to make people believe what the feds want them to believe. A very blatant psyop is the creation of the word conspiracy theory. The origin of this term was created by the Central Intelligence Agency, or the CIA, in order to call people who questioned the established narrative of the JFK assassination crazy. People that said that the JFK assassination was an inside job or something like that, they're called crazy, lunatic conspiracy theorists. Which is why, for years and years now, up until recent months, conspiracy theorists have been looked at like crazy lunatics, when in reality, they were onto something this whole time. And now, I will admit, I did also treat some conspiracy theories like lunatic crazy shit. But now that I've opened my mind, and now also after the files dropped and everything, they weren't too out of their minds. They were actually onto a lot of things. But yeah, so that is an example of a psychological operation. Now, to talk about what we're here to talk about today, I want to talk about the CIA and their current psyop, which is happening right now on Instagram as we speak, referring to the company Nestle. You may know Nestle from the chocolate candy company. They make the crunch candy. There was a very popular meme that's like, "That's why I love Nestle crunch. But anyway, also, I'm talking about this while there's just an act of terrorism happening on screen. But anyway, but yeah, so basically, Nestle, right, as a company, they are one of the most scumful, evil companies that are out there, right? They are genuinely fucking evil. There are multiple times where child labor has been discovered within their company. They don't give women paid maternal leave, which is just not okay of any company not to do. And then along with this, they dry out lakes and they steal a shit ton of water that could rival some data centers. They say that water isn't a human right. And now look, I'm not one of those people that's gonna say, oh, everything's a human right, bada bada bada. But we fucking need water to survive as a human species, okay? And I get it, economy and blah blah blah. But still, because when these people say that like water isn't a human right, they don't mean it as in, because like, yeah, technically, because there's a difference between a right and, fuck, I'm trying to conjure up a thought here, hold on. Okay, because when it comes to food and water being labeled as human rights, right, that is saying, you are now assuming, right, that you are owed this water, and that it should all be for free. But we also have to factor in, the people that the people that will harvest the food, or the people, like, I'm talking about like farm crops and shit, like the farmers that will harvest this food, the people that have to irrigate the water if they're not by like a bunch of freshwater streams or whatever. And obviously, yeah, how an economy works, and how economy has been working for thousands of years, you pay for this stuff. But also, when these people say it's not a human right, they don't mean it in the way that I was just saying. What they mean by it is we don't deserve it, right? They don't give a fuck that we need water to live, when the fresh water can be going to whatever the fuck Nestle is making next, or whatever data center they gotta build up next. So, the human right argument is an argument for a different day, but what I'm saying, though, is when they say it's not a human right, they don't mean it in, like, that type of sense. They mean it as in a straight up, we don't deserve it. And that's where it's fucked up. Because they've dried out many lakes before. It's just, and they also pollute water. They pollute the water too, which is just not good. These aren't good living conditions for people around. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but you know what I mean. But yeah, so this company is just straight up fucking evil. And you know how recently everybody's been going after the data centers because of the data centers are also evil when they pollute all the water, take up all the fresh water, yada yada yada. Recently, all over Instagram, there have been all these meme accounts, right, that have been posting saying how the CIA feels when Nestle does this and this and this, but everybody will still blame the AI and the data. And what they mean, right, is like, oh, the CIA is doing a psyop, and they're going to distract us from hating on Nestle to get everybody mad at the AI and that shit like that. But here's the thing, both are evil, we hate both. And when you look at these many because like all these posts look the exact same, and they're all posted by these meme accounts that like are completely corporatized, right? They don't have like anything original about them. It's usually some retarded ass username like unbustable nut or something like that. And they'll what they'll fucking do is the description of the reel, it'll be some bullshit like V stepped into the crowd, or it'll just have like this random language, and it's like a big like long multi-paragraph yap fest. So it's clear this is a CIA psyop, because what they're gonna do is, by telling everybody, oh, the CIA The CIA is psyoping you. They're making you go after the AI. Really, we should be going after Nestle. So then what it's going to do is convince people that, oh, hey, the data centers aren't the problem. It's Nestle. So then all of a sudden, everybody stops hating the AI, and we're going after Nestle. And look, both of these are bad, but that's why we have to go after both at the same time. Situations like this aren't black and white. This isn't an anime or a cartoon where there's two sides and only two sides. There's multiple different factions. So, like, that's why the people that still believe in the left versus right thing, I think, are kind of closed-minded. Because when people say, oh, when the Civil War happens, it'll be left versus right, red versus blue, Republican versus Democrat. You're saying that like those are the only two sides. There are multiple factions in this. Let's not get confused. We're not an anime, okay? Hate to break it to you guys, but Japan is not the anime kawaii motherland, okay? You guys see that one meme on Instagram where, like, it's the really fat, obese dude that looks like the fat dude from one of the Zelda CDI games, and he says, I just arrived at sweet motherland Japan. It's just like anime. Like, bro, whatever you fucking say. Yeah, Morshu from the CDI games. I think that's his name, I don't know. But anyway, what I was saying is, it's a blatant psyop, right? It is a complete blatant psyop to make people start forgiving AI and fall in love with only hating Nestle, when really we're supposed to be hating both as decent, normal people that are upstanding. So, because as the regular people, right, the citizens, the populace, we're not only going after one evil and ignoring the others. We gotta go after all of it, right? Especially as Christians, right? We don't make peace with evil, or we're not told to turn a blind eye to some evil and go after others. No, we're told to expose all the evil and have nothing to do with the evil works. So, yeah. So it's a blatant CIA psyop, right? And they've been doing it for a while. Do you guys know that almost every single meme account on Instagram, or even TikTok, especially TikTok, they're literally owned by the feds, especially here in America. But you guys know that, like, almost all these meme accounts are completely just ran by the CIA, right? Look, like, now we're gonna go into a bit of a deeper thing, right? We have, right, all these meme accounts, right? There'll be some random bullshit meme, and then it'll have V stepped into the crowd, or it'll be some long ass fucking rant in like some foreign language that two people speak, or it'll be like, it would just be straight bullshit. But yeah, you guys know what I mean. And thing is, right, many of these meme accounts, what kind of memes do they post? They post evil, deranged memes that are meant to, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Shit. Yeah, desensitize, yeah. They're memes to desensitize people to tragedies. I made a YouTube post about this a few days ago. Look at Charlie Kirk's death, right? What did we get out of Charlie Kirk's death? We got all the Kirkification memes and all the deranged lunatic memes making fun of the tragedy that happened. And look, agree or disagree with him, in the end of the day, he was just a normal jit. And he was killed. Okay, this is a bit off topic. He got killed for not giving in to the status quo, and he got killed because he flew too close to the sun with about a certain desert New Jersey country, if you know what I mean. But yeah, he was just a normal jit in the end of the day, right? And then you get all these Kirkification memes, making fun of his death. And it desensitizes people to the great tragedy that happened right in front of our eyes. And only now people are starting to realize that, right? And yeah, while some of the memes were funny, in the end of the day, they were being pushed by the feds to make us overlook the fact that a genuine tragedy happened that day. It was pushed by the feds to distract people from the fact that, because if the memes didn't happen, I 100% guarantee you, people would have realized about the whole Charlie Kirk Israel thing way quicker than they actually did, because all that was about Charlie Kirk was Kirkification, and a bunch of bullshit. So it would have been a lot quicker. It was purely distraction. Let's look at the Epstein memes, right? All these memes were there to desensitize people because everybody was making fun of Epstein, and they were talking about how, like, instead of acknowledging the tragedies that happened on that island, not even the tragedies, the atrocities, the crimes against humanity that went down. Hold on. The crimes against humanity that happened, right, were now being overlooked because we were laughing about these AI-generated Epstein songs. Like, Epstein took my little girl, so I got to his island with that ender pearl. Like, dude, it's just straight slop memes, right? I mean, they were funny, but still, it desensitized people, where we were treating Epstein as some sort of joke. Any other decent society in history would have been flipping their fucking shit after the files came out. But not us. Not even a protest happened. I mean, come on. Not even a protest? What are we doing? So, yeah. It was a blatant psyop by the CIA, right? You had all the hantavirus memes, right, which were being pushed to distract people, because now that the main thing was about the hantavirus on the cruise ship, you know what it completely distracted people from knowing? That at the time the hantavirus cruise ship thing happened, you want to know what else was discovered on a cruise ship right at the same time? It was on a Disney cruise ship, and there was a bunch of stuff of child porn on the computers in the cruise ship. So they fluffed up the hantavirus thing to get people freaking out about that. Oh, it's the next COVID. And then what did they do after that? Then the CIA pushes the nothing ever happens meme, right? Which, even though, nothing ever happens was originally meant to be a meme about on how, nothing's really ever going on when it comes to, like, government stuff, One thing gets brought up, and then it goes from that to just, nothing. It went from that to trying to convince people that nothing ever happens, as in the sense of nothing will ever get done, and there's no point of even fighting back against a regime that is doing all this evil, twisted shit. So, psyop after psyop. And they're psyoping you right now with the Nestle memes. Oh, I know. Wait, guys. Okay, I know how we're gonna stop people freaking out about data centers, okay? Before things get too hot. You know what we're gonna do? Let's push memes on the internet talking about how bad Nestle is, and saying that Nestle is the main problem and it's not the AI data centers. So that way, they all start only going after Nestle, while we can keep building up the data centers that build the inevitable digital imprisonment of the American people. It's a psychological operation. So, what do we do? First of all, get the fuck off of Instagram Reels. This first and foremost. I used to say Instagram Reels was the best out of, TikTok, Instagram, and Shorts. But Shorts is the best. It's the only thing that has genuine people on there. Instagram is flooded with all these CIA meme accounts. TikTok is literally owned by the feds. YouTube Shorts is just, it is a Google thing. So take that what you will. I'm not saying it's super, like, the only thing that you can 100% trust away your life. But what I'm saying, when it comes to regular content, it's mostly just genuine people on Shorts, not the bots or the meme accounts that you see on TikTok and Instagram. And it's not like, YouTube Shorts is being ran by, like, the federal government and, like, a bunch of feds that give out shit to Israel. Do you know that the people that run American TikTok now are actually sharing some of the stuff on TikTok with Israel? But we were supposed to be scared of TikTok and stuff that we put on TikTok getting shared with China. I think both are bad. But judging based off of recent history, I think sharing it with Israel is worse. Yeah, you can crucify me all you want, I don't care. I said what I said. But yeah, Shorts is obviously the best. So get off of Instagram and get off of TikTok. Even if you don't live in America, get off of TikTok anyway. It's all straight goy slop to begin with. Like, it's genuine straight slop on TikTok anyway. There's no talent on TikTok. Neither is there talent on Instagram. The only place you'll find actual talent is, like, YouTube Shorts. And then I know some people are going to give me a couple niche examples that apparently refute my whole point. But, like, guys, come on. You're just desperate. I know one person that'll get upset with me for calling TikTok slop. But yeah, so get off of Instagram. But yeah, get off of Instagram. Stop, giving into the slop. Stop taking in only slop. If you're one of those women that are into, like, lustful shows, stop fucking watching Love Island. Holy shit, nobody gives a shit. It's one of the worst shows you can watch. If you watch it, you're straight up going. I don't want to hear it. But yeah. So just stop giving into goy shit, guys. This is the best thing that I could, this is the only bit of advice I could give you. And stop believing absolutely everything, and look at everything not with a zoomed in perspective like what social media and these psyops are going to give you. Look at it all from the open perspective. Hold on. But yeah, look at it all with a fully zoomed out and honest perspective. No bias. No goy slop, okay? And that's really all I could say. This video is getting quite long now, so I think I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you guys for what the fuck was that random speed up? Okay. This gameplay ain't mine, just so you know. That's why there's random cuts, because I'm cutting past ads because YouTube is gay. But yeah. So, but yeah, so just, that's all I gotta say. Thank you guys for all the views and the reception on the last video. Hopefully this video can get the same amount or even more. Hopefully more, since this is an original topic being discussed on the channel for once. But yeah, so, that's just all I gotta say. Remember, as Zidongle says in all of his shit, you matter. God bless. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.